Ohayou gozaimasu. That is Japanese for good morning. It's 9 a.m. here in Chicago, Illinois, and it's really nice, but it's still cold for some reason. But yeah, anyways, we're going to look at Nihon ALT, the project that started it all, that started my web development career, the crazy passion and all day, all night programming that I've done since then, and me coming to Chicago for that matter. So yeah, I'm really quite proud of this one. So we'll just walk through it. It's not going to be real in-depth. It's just a high-level kind of overview to talk about what it uses and why. All right, so it came from the problem that we had in my company, in my department, as public English school teachers. As teachers, we have to make all of our materials from scratch, unless we borrow or take from someone else. And it could be quite nice if you get really lucky and that your materials are really versatile to begin with, but it's often not the case that each year that you can use the exact same things, because every year we have to go to different schools and we often get different teachers, and the teachers all have different personalities, and they may prefer to have more active activities for learning English or practicing English, or they might want drier stuff that's more like a test or something like that, or more writing based or whatever. So it's hard to make all that stuff from scratch, especially if you're someone who hasn't taught before, and most teachers, foreign teachers in Japan, haven't taught English as a second language before. So that's the problem. And what we had before I got started on this was the person before me in my department had built a forum, and it wasn't a bad idea. It was a forum that lets you go through each subform, which was like the year of the grade, and so like junior high school grade 1, and then you choose what unit and then the section, and then you can look at all the worksheets that all the teachers had provided in the company, and maybe some that were from other websites and stuff. And it had a nice little preview, and then it also sometimes had the instructions on there as well. And there were some good points and there's some bad points. Like the bad points were it took a lot of clicks to get to where you wanted to go, and when you got there it was all like one row for each thing, one post, right? It's a form. It was kind of not a great user interface, especially if you were told last minute, hey, can you provide this worksheet for this class that's happening next period, which happens a lot. And so my idea was let's do away with that, and let's just go on to a full website. Make a website that has a good user interface, that requires as little clicks as possible to get to a unit and a section within a unit, and maintains the whole worksheet preview and still has space for instructions. And that's pretty simple, but for a new developer, that was really hard. So I borrowed a lot of code and just went from there. But it ultimately ended up like this. The idea is to have a crowdsourced website where you could sign up and have an account, and then upload a file with your own instructions included, and the title and all that stuff, and your name attached to it as well, so you can be a contributor, and space for blog articles, because it's pretty useful. Just living in Japan, it can be really difficult, and sometimes there's little bits of tidbits that other people pick up and be shared. And and the big thing is it uses JavaScript, whereas my very first website did not have any JavaScript. It was just HTML and CSS. And what that means is that's not programming language, that's just markup language. It's structure, but it doesn't make any cool thing happen, and it doesn't have any computation where it's like, what's 2 times 6 or whatever. It can't do that, to my knowledge. Maybe CSS can, maybe. But anyways, it made it really hard for the administrator to do anything. So whenever I had to upload new files or change something or redesign the entire website, it took a lot. Even just adding something took a little bit of time, especially if it was in bulk. there's files everywhere in subfolders all over the place, and then I had to make sure I copied and pasted the links correctly because there was space for like 3 links and stuff. Let's not talk about it. It wasn't very good. So let's look at this. You can find the live app right here at this URL. Firebase is really nice if you're a developer and you just want to deploy something really simple. You can do authentication and database through there, and even more stuff. And that's what I've done with this. So here at this landing page, we've got some just fake stuff sitting here just to show off what can be placed here. And I'm thinking, yeah, some articles here. Click here to read more, but there's nothing there, so for now. And then you can see some older articles as well. All right, and then on the left here, you can sign in or sign up for Nihon ALT to contribute. So let's just make a fake email, email.com, and minimum 6 characters, so test12 is pretty good. Submit. There we go, and now we are logged in, so we're allowed to see this component called the file upload component. And here we can just enter our name, material title, so guess who, Mario edition, or whatever. Blah, 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 blah. This is how you do it. And then you can choose what category this is supposed to be for. So ideally, I guess probably Guess Who Mario Edition would be popular with year 1, kind of, somewhat. But yeah, this is how most of our materials were made up. Elementary school, mostly for the junior high school, and then sometimes we also had high school, and often a lot of special needs materials. So yeah, and then you choose that, and then you can upload your file from there. And let's see, I think I have something here. Let's just load my resume. Oh, yep, and got a toast on there and have the loading going as well, so that works. And the navigation bar. So I wanted to keep that few clicks as possible. So 1 click brings down the drop down for your selected grade. And then let's just say we want to go to Unit 1, click on Unit 1. Takes us to the very first part of Unit 1. And we can see here cards for each set of materials. So you can see a preview and a title, instructions, and then you can download the file at the bottom. The same for all the other ones. And then if you wanted to go to Part 2, it's just 1 click over. Part 3, another click. Part 4, another click. And the layout here is pretty versatile. You know, if I really wanted to change it, it's just a few lines of code. It's very simple, and it works well on mobile as well. And let's see, what else is there? Well, that's about it. Yeah, and so at max, if you just wanted one location, one part, one section of a unit, it's just 2 clicks from the home page. Yeah, and that's about it for the website. And then the code, let's just hop over there real quick. So all the materials would be stored on some kind of database, and this is sort of just a placeholder, but everything's stored in what's called a JavaScript object. And when we get here, one worksheet or set of materials is going to have just 5 properties, and that's all I have to do to change it. I don't have to do anything else. Just add an ID, a title, an image, the instructions, and the download link. And then over here, JavaScript handles all of my layout. I have a card map. It just goes through each card, and whoop, not that one. It goes through each card and sets the ID, puts the image there, and then an alt for it, and then the title as well, the instructions, the download link. And that's it. This whole thing, if I really wanted to change the layout, all I'd have to do is just change how this looks and keep, you know, these parts essentially in some way. And that's it. It's all handled by JavaScript. So it's really nice for the administrator. Saves a lot of time. Makes redesigning it not a pain in the butt and take a month. Yeah. So that's it for Nihon ALT. I hope you liked it. If you have any questions, let me know.